What's going on there with both of you and others is a delay in your normalcy bias being overcome. What you expected today was to get up at the hotel. I know from seeing a few of you last night that you were going to wake up in the hotel this morning, and when you went to bed last night, you were pretty convinced you were going to wake up with a bit of a headache. Because I saw you. I heard you. You woke up, you got up, and within the first 5 or 6 seconds of waking up this morning, your brain said, this is what today looks like. We're going to go across the road into a big black box where there's going to be a video screen and a whole lot of people speaking to us. We're going to have a cracking lunch and feel a little bit dozy in the afternoon. Then some more lectures. Then we're going to finish. Then we're going to go back to the hotel, or we're going to go to Lancaster. We're going to have a drink, and that's what today looks like. And then suddenly something changes that. And your brain, having drawn the path of what today looks like, struggles to break out of normality. And we've got a number of incidents of this, a number of examples of where normalcy bias takes a long time to overcome. If any of you have read the 9/11 reports, you will probably, like me, have said, what on earth was going on when the aeroplane crashed into the first building and everybody felt the explosion. Some of them saw the aircraft, then they smelt fuel, they saw bits of metal falling past their windows, and their reaction to that was, well, I'll just finish this email. What? 1,000 people in that building continued sending emails for up to 25 minutes after the first aircraft went in. That's hardly normal behavior. It's certainly not a panic reaction to being in a position of extreme danger. Maybe if some people had reacted quicker and had a little bit of panic and a little bit of urgency, there might have been better outcomes for a lot of people. This normalcy bias is one of our greatest dangers. It's there for a reason. It's there to protect us. If every time we heard a bang or saw an unusual light or heard an unusual noise or something different out of the ordinary happened, our reptile kicked in the adrenaline and all the other drugs that go around our body, squirt everything up there that says, take all the blood from my hands, all the blood from my toes, and put all that food and that oxygen into my thighs and my arms, because I'm either going to fight my way out of this or I'm going to run. If that happened every time, our lives would be much, much shorter, because we'd be burning parts of our body dozens and dozens, if not hundreds of times a day. And so normalcy bias is there to protect us. That's its job. It's the, hang on a minute, let me just check, because this can't really be happening. Because, hey, people like me don't die in terrorist attacks, do they? People like me don't lie on a beach in Tunisia, sunning ourselves, having a wonderful time laid back and reading a book, and then look across and see a man walking up a beach shooting people dead. We know from the research into that and from the evidence at the inquest that 2 ladies were laying at the end of the beach. They sat up from their novels, they looked down the beach, they saw the man coming towards them, and then they laid back down and carried on reading. Can't ask you what went through their brains, because both of them were dead. Both of them died as a result, primarily, I think, of normalcy bias, because they failed to react to a situation of great danger. They were ultra relaxed. They were in the worst possible condition they could have been for that emergency that day, because people like them don't lay on beaches and get shot by terrorists. It just doesn't happen to people like us, right up to the point when it happens to people like us. If we know that normalcy bias exists, and we hear our brain saying, this must be a film set, this can't be real, this must be happening to somebody else. If you know it exists, you can overcome it much quicker. On average, the figure that's quoted is about 7 or 8 seconds for normalcy bias to be overcome. If you know it exists, 2, 3, 4 seconds, giving you a 4 or 5 second advantage potentially to react quicker than anybody else. And bear in mind, you are the people that will be there. You saw the video this morning, staff that were at the multiple shootings saying, hey, have we got fireworks scheduled for tonight? To which they all knew the answer. There was no fireworks scheduled that night. We should know if there's fireworks in our show. And if we hear something that sounds like fireworks and we know there's no fireworks, we shouldn't be even needing to ask that question. We should know, and we should be reacting to that. We should know what to do.